Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Friday, June the 10th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis, and we're going to go over a really nice 15-game main slate that starts at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. And man, it's fun to not have to play 12 different slates. It just 7:05, and it's that way on Draftkings, Fanduel, and Yahoo. So I'm excited, Crash.
Yeah, it really is. Yesterday we had all these different slates and lineups and news we're trying to chase. And today we can just lock in on this main slate and all the games are right there in front of us. So just sit back and enjoy it and hopefully have some big wins. Yesterday was a solid day. We went, 2 for 2 on our slates, but that doesn't happen a whole lot. So that was very nice.
Yeah, I was excited. I mean, it was a really clean sweep yesterday. I hit DraftKings and FanDuel on the early slate, hit Yahoo on the all day, and then DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, and Prizepicks on the main slate. So the broom was out, man. That's the way we want to provide.
That was awesome. That really was awesome.
And hats off to you. We both were off of Cole. That was your fade on the podcast. And he was like monster, number one SP1 for almost everybody. Yeah. That gave us a big heads up. And, I followed it up by, plugging Buxton in everywhere, which people were avoiding because of Cole. And that, the 5.5 on Prizepicks, and he got 44 or some crazy. Yeah. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So it was a fun day, and I guess that means we're hot. So
yeah, I think so. And my Joey Gallo pick came through, which that
double dong out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I got a double dong. So we both had a double dong on our lineups.
Yep. Now we just need to keep it going and get this tonight. Great slate. No dominance in pitching. Like last night was more pitching. There's two or three big name pitchers there, but not anything like last night. And so you got to get a little bit more, creative in building some lineups. Lots of different ways to go. So we will dive into this. I want to thank, first of all, our presenting sponsor, Prizepicks. Go to prizepicks.com, sign up with the promo code Coach Talk, all one word, no space. And they will match you dollar for dollar on your first deposit all the way up to $100. If you want to join us for DFS Coach Talk, just get involved for the weekend. This is the best day to do it. You can get in for our 3-day pass for $10. That's it, 10 stinking bucks. You get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is our busiest days. We've got tons of MLB today, as we said. We have NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. And we have like the greatest PGA sweat ever. Yeah. We had 4 of the top 9 guys out of our lineup. So we are sitting in the top like 10 in all the big tournaments in PGA. I know it's only one day, and but you got to still enjoy it because now you're at least in the mix.
Yeah.
When you're in like 7th out of 40,000, it's pretty fun. So hopefully those guys keep it going. And if you join Coach Talk too, you get our weekend only golf lineup, which comes out tonight. So enjoy the podcast here. We're going to give you a breakdown like we normally do. And then we're going to finish the pod not only with Prizepicks choices, but we're going to build a 2 brains are better than one Fanduel GPP for you for tonight's action. All right, my man, here we are on the way in. By the way, YouTube, let's get thumbs up. Hit the subscribe, click the alert up in the corner so you know when all of these podcasts post. We have a golf and basketball pod that's already posted, and then now you're watching our baseball pod. So thank you for joining us. All right, pay up pitcher. Let's get going. What do you got?
All right. So for my pay up pitcher, I am going to go with Joe Musgrove. He's 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DraftKings. Was excellent in his last start in Milwaukee against my Brewers. He pitched 8 shutout innings, struck out 6 for 52 fantasy points, has a quality start in all 10 of his starts this year. He scored 40-plus FanDuel fantasy points in 5 of his last 6 starts. Going up against Colorado, they've scored the 3rd fewest runs per game away from home. And and at only 3.08 runs per game. So I like the matchup here for Musgrove. He's been solid all year in the Pitchers Park in San Diego. It just seems like the safest option to me. I also like Luis Severino, but I think between the two, I would rather go with Musgrove.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, those are my two pitchers of choice today. I love both of them. I think Musgrove and Severino are the two guys that you have to look at. I don't see a lineup that I'll put in that isn't going to have one of them as my SP1.
Yeah.
The problem is, trying to play both of them really handcuffs you salary-wise because they're not cheap anywhere. They're Musgrove's 10.5 on DraftKings, Severino's 10.3 on FanDuel, 10.9 for Musgrove, 10.2 for Severino, and even on Yahoo, 51 for Musgrove, 44, which isn't bad for Severino. Now, you can make cases for both of these guys. I mean, there's no question about it. They're both fantastic pitchers. They're both quality pitchers. And I think I'll be, normally I ride or die with one or the other, but I'm going to play two similar hitting lineups with interchangeable pitchers of Musgrove and Severino as my ones, because I just think they're that good. I mean, granted, Severino pitched against Detroit. They're terrible. But he pitched 7 innings, 1 hit, 10 Ks for a cool 38.5 on DraftKings. So on FanDuel, that number was a nice 61, like my 61 burger that I had yesterday. So
that was McClanahan, right?
McClanahan from Tampa. Yeah. Same thing, 61. But look at the scores on FanDuel the last 5 outs for Severino: 61, 31, 40, 46, 29. And it's not all bums in there. Toronto was in that mix. Again, he did get Detroit and Tampa. White Sox are a little shaky themselves, but he's dominating play. He's just not giving up many hits. I mean, 6 1/3 and 7 innings, 1 hit, 2 hits, 1 hit. So when you're in control like that, man, that's, you're dealing. So I am split on the two, Severino and Musgrove. I'm going to play both. Slight, just teensy sliver of a lean to Severino for me, but I love both guys as well.
Yeah. And that's a good segue over to my value play, because he has the same matchup that Severino had against Detroit. And that's Jose Berrios. He's 8,400 on FanDuel, 7,500 on DraftKings, coming off his best start of the year against his former team in the last game against the Twins. 7 innings, allowed only 2 runs, and had 13 strikeouts for 64 fantasy points on FanDuel. But going against Detroit, they've scored the fewest runs per game this year, and they have the 5th highest strikeout rate. And so I definitely like Berrios. He'll probably be the highest owned pitcher on the 2 slates. But I just think it's good value for a decent matchup.
Yeah, I mean, he's underpriced for what he's been producing. And, I like him. I think he's pitching well. I've not been a long time big fan of his, but against Detroit, man, that's the the boxcars matchup right there. Right. I mean, but I'm probably not going to go there, and a lot of it's just simply going to be because of leverage. Everybody's going to play Musgrove or Severino mostly for their SP1. People are going to put Berrios as an SP2. I think a lot of spots. Some people may even put him as a 1.
Right.
And just, I want to get a little bit different there. So I'm probably going to fade Berrios, but cautiously. I am, but they're also, it seems like through the years of Berrios, he always throws some clinkers in there when you least expect it. And I know it's just, again, that's just from watching and seeing his performances through the years.
Right.
So I'm hoping he throws a clinker in there. That's the way I'm going to look at it. Or at least he doesn't perform to expectation for the amount of ownership he's going to have. So I'm going to go my value guy, and I bet you know who it is. I've been talking about this guy before he pitched in the league.
Yeah.
And it's a brutal matchup, and it's very risky, and I'll probably only do it in maybe a little bit of my cash games, but mainly GPP, and that's Roansy Contreras. Talked about him, before his first start, followed him through a little bit, and then, that first outing where he went 1-0 with a 193 for his first win, 193 ERA, a whip rate at 1, and he already has 26 strikeouts. So, the guy can pitch. 41 FanDuel points last time out, 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts. Granted, it was against Arizona, but he had a decent outing against San Diego. He pitched against Colorado in, again, solid outing, 30 FanDuel points. And against your Brewers on April 19th, he had 21 with just 3 innings pitched. And he's just getting into the rotation now, getting additional, innings. So I'm thinking he could get 6 innings tonight. That's what I have him for. He pitched 5 2/3 last time. They're building him up. The only problem is, I get it. It's at Atlanta, and Atlanta's team is very dangerous. So I think I'd get Roansy very low owned. I think you're going to see a bunch of Atlanta stacks. So, I'm not planting my flag. He's not going to be in 100% of my lineups, but for a sneaky guy that I've been chatting about, to get somebody at super single digits here, and if he pitches well and shuts down some of those Atlanta bats, which people will be loading up on, it could be a key to top of the leaderboard,
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Let me say one last thing. He's only 6,700 on FanDuel or DraftKings, 75 on FanDuel, and $36 on Yahoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You said 6,700 on DraftKings?
That's it. 6,700. Wow. $4,000 savings basically from Musgrove.
Yeah, so for my fade pitcher, I'm going to look at Tristan McKenzie. He's 9,800 on FanDuel, 8,800 on DraftKings. I feel like he's a little expensive on FanDuel. He's probably pretty close to appropriately priced on DraftKings because, he's going up against Oakland. He faced them earlier this year. He pitched 6 1/3 innings, struck out 7 for 50 fantasy points. So I do think he'll get some ownership, but I just like the value with BetUS more. And in his last start, McKenzie did struggle against Baltimore. He allowed 5 runs off of 3 home runs in 7 innings. So I'm going to fade McKenzie tonight. I'm either going to be paying up for Musgrove or Severino or paying down for BetUS.
Gotcha. My fade pitcher today, Crash, is a weird one because it's a guy who played his last 3 starts, and it's Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
I like Zach Gallen. I think he's a fine pitcher. It's just I don't like the matchup for him, and I just I feel just average game coming. And again, you can go through all the numbers, and I could read you a billion numbers on why he's a good play, but he's expensive. He's 99 on DraftKings, 94 on FanDuel, and 46 on Yahoo. And I just at Philly, Harper's in some kind of crazy zone. They're leading off Schwarber now with that Schwarber, Hoskins, Harper, Castellanos, Real Muto, and then 3 lefties more at the bottom too with Gregorius, Bohm, and Moniak. So they've got 5 or 6 lefties against them, and it's just a tough place to pitch. It's warmer in Philly, and I'm worried about that start for him. Yeah, and I think he's a good fade today.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, you're preaching to the choir here. I just saw what the Phillies are capable of firsthand. So
they're tough.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So that's brings us to our BVP play, correct?
That's correct. I'm worried we're going to have the same guy today.
Go ahead. Go first today.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Goldschmidt happens. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. We don't have the same guy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. Yep, I'm going Paul Goldschmidt. He is in a wonderful matchup here versus Castillo. I know Castillo has been decent, but let me give you a couple of, I got to go back to that sheet. Let's see here. he's not only has he been on fire and been, MVP kind of play that he's developed this year, but he's just been outstanding, and he's really good against Castillo. So he's 9 for 36, which is 250. That doesn't sound all fantastic, but 4 extra base hits, which 3 of them are homers, 8 RBIs. He's walked 4 times, slugging 528, OPS 853. So he's seen him a lot, and he's hot, and he's hitting. And I love Goldschmidt right now. It's hard to get away from him.
Okay. Yeah, I like that play. For my BVP play, I'm going with Eugenio Suarez. He's 3,400 on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. He's 500 with 5 hits and 10 at bats against Rich Hill, 2 singles, a double, and 2 home runs. So he should be low owned, and it's a solid matchup for him at home against Rich Hill.
I like it. Home run call. I'm going to go JD Martinez against Marco Gonzalez. He's taken him deep once already. Watched him last night. He had a nice long double, and Martinez hasn't had a home run in 18 games or something like that. So people are going to say, okay, where's the pop here? But he's still stinging the ball. He's just not getting that loft on it. And it's a good matchup against Gonzalez for him. I think that this is where he goes deep tonight, and probably lower owned than normal because of that lack of home run pop recently. And he is a little expensive, but you know what? When they're a little more expensive and you get low ownership and they go deep, it's like hitting 2 home runs,
Yeah. I'm going to go with what sounds like, you're just going with the lock or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to go with Bryce Harper. He has 5 home runs in his last 6 games, 12 of 15 home runs against right-handed pitchers. Now, Zach Gallen's only allowed 4 home runs, but 3 of those were in his last 3 starts. So he has been allowing more home runs, but he's only allowed 4 this year. So it's not as much of a slam dunk as it sounds like on paper.
No, yeah, I agree, though. That's why he's my fade pitcher. He has been giving up harder contact recently. Harper is like video game right now, too. It's
ridiculous. 5 home runs in his last 6 games. Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. All right, the all-important stacks. This is where I get to be, Joe Chalk, whatever. I'm just going to say the Yankees.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. They're facing the Cubs. Poor old Wade Miley. That's a rough thing. When you have when you tell, hey Wade, the righties you have to face today are LeMahieu, Judge. We'll squeeze Rizzo in there as a lefty, Stanton, Donaldson, Hicks, who's starting to hit a little bit finally, Kiner Falefa, Trevino, and then by the way, we'll throw Gallo in 9th, who went double dong yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd you like to have to face those 9?
Right.
So, I mean, if I go with in the lineups where I go cheap with Ronzi or a second pitcher to get the money, I'm going to try to get a good 3 or 4 man Yankee stack. Now, you can't go LeMahieu, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton and afford it, but you certainly could go like a Judge, Rizzo, Hicks, Kiner Falefa, whatever. You can move it around a little bit there and still get good exposure. So
yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. They're my top stack as well. Also like the Blue Jays against Elvin Rodriguez. It's a good matchup for them against the lefty that's been struggling. Same thing for the Mets against Jonathan Diaz. And then my GPP stack is going to be the Mariners. So
very good. My second stack that I like is also the Blue Jays. Again, I used this joke last time, but it's going to be Alvin.
Yeah.
Elvin Rodriguez, 0-1 with a 10.13 ERA. Not fun.
Not great.
And again, their lineup is nasty.
Yeah.
Toronto has not hit this year, but they're 10 games over 500, and they really haven't hit in bunches like they can. I mean, their biggest power hitter this last month has been Kirk.
Alejandro Kirk. Yeah, I
So
know.
that tells you something.
Yeah, definitely. And I
But
will say, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say a little bit of a disclaimer. If Alonso and Marte are out for the Mets, I don't like that lineup. So you
Okay.
can scratch them if those two are both out. But if they're in, definitely like them against Diaz.
Yeah. Yeah. Alonso makes a big difference, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's go prize picks here. I've got a couple of prize picks plays for you. If you're ready, go ahead, throw your first one out there.
Okay. It's Joe Musgrove over 40.5 fantasy score. As I mentioned, he scored 40 plus in 5 of his last 6 starts. So I like the over at 40.5 for him. I have him projected for about 48.
I like it. I'm going Luis Severino over 38.5. I have him projected at 42.5. So pretty healthy there. Just so locked in right now. Don't respect the Cubs team. So I'm going with Luis Severino.
38.5, you said?
That's it.
Okay.
Fair.
I'll take Bryce Harper over 7.5. A little bit low to me.
Low. Why is that so low?
Yeah, just because they respect Zach Gallen. But I mean, he can do that against anybody. I mean, he did it against Corbin Burns yesterday. So
yeah.
So I like the over at 7.5 for Harper.
Well, I'm gonna say again, Goldschmidt happens, and Mr. Paul Goldschmidt over 8 fantasy score in this dream matchup, and he's hitting the ball. I love Goldie tonight.
And then I'm going to take Jose Berrios at what I thought was a low number, 5 strikeouts. He had 13 in his last start against Minnesota. His last 2 starts against Detroit, he had 11 and 8 strikeouts. So I like the over there at 5.
Yeah, that seems like a messed up line for sure.
Well, it's the reason why they have it so low is I looked at his other starts this year, and he has gone below that number quite a bit. But he also hasn't faced as many strikeout-heavy teams as some pitchers have. So I think that his strikeouts are going to go up from now on. So,
and then I'm going, I could look like a bozo or a hero, but, my cheap pitcher today, I'm going to take him on prize picks as well. It's Roansy Contreras, and I'm going to take him over 5 strikeouts because I'm expecting him to pitch 6 innings, and I think, he's definitely a strikeout per inning kind of guy. I don't have him crushing that number, but I have him at 6 or 7, 6.5 strikeouts. So just trying to show some confidence in my man here to be able to get it done. But again, Atlanta, he may give up a couple of solo homers, but there's a lot of strikeouts in that Atlanta line.
Yeah, they strike out a lot. Yeah. I mean, Drew Baker got him he didn't have any in the first 3 innings. And then from innings 4 through 7, he got 7 strikeouts. So.
Exactly. So I feel better about the strikeouts stat than even the fantasy points number for my man Roansy. All right. Before we jump to build this lineup real quickly, again, if you would like to join us at DFS Coach Talk, go to dfscoachtalk.com. Come and check us out. It's really easy. You jump on our website, just go to dfscoachtalk.com. Couple of clicks and you're in. Even if you want to just dip your toes in, try us out for the next 3 days. $10, boom, you're in Discord like instantly. And we have tons of information in Discord. We're always talking about lineups and player news, weather with baseball, and all the other things going on. By the way, we didn't really mention weather earlier, but it looks pretty good. I think just one spot maybe or 2 at the most where we have to keep a slight eye, but it doesn't look like any washout stuff anywhere. So, we'll keep an eye on that. But like I say, when you come aboard, we do all that work for you. We're preparing all the way up until lock. We'll give you radar and the whole 9 yards of what to expect. And that makes a big, big difference in baseball. And then you're going to get either a clipboard on DraftKings with highlighted players and then others for you to select, or also a core group to play on DraftKings full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo, both cash and GPP. So allows you to, play ours or build something close and maybe take a few pivots, whatever you feel comfortable with. But we're all about, coaching to hand building lineups. We use all of the tools, the optimizers like everybody else, but we ultimately hand build so that you can enter contests in cash and single entry and those that you feel very confident that you can take anybody on one-on-one. And you're not 1 against 150 like it is, when people try to hit those GPPs with just single bullets. So we want to give you the best chance to win. We coach our members to, contest selection being a big part in bankroll management. And we also offer a one-on-one coaching session as part of your membership with myself, with Crash, with Deb, whomever you want to get that information from. We will set that up when you become a member. So dfscoachtalk.com, we would love to have you. Again, before we do this last lineup here, if you're on YouTube, our biggest ask of the whole free podcasts that we do every day, quick thumbs up, give us a comment once in a while in there, even if it's a short one. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the alert so you know when all of our podcasts post. And also, if you become a member this weekend, we've added the UFC, MMA piece to what we do. Also NASCAR, which we did real well on last week. So you get a lot more than you're really going to get anywhere else. And it's always for one price. We don't charge you one by one for everything that we offer. So you'll know exactly what you're getting. And we're excited to offer you that. So, all right, my man, here we go. FanDuel GPP lineup for the 705 15-game slate. Who's our first player?
Let's see. I'm gonna let you take the pitcher. I'm gonna take
You're gonna default your pick right off the bat?
Yeah. It's a GPP. I'm gonna trust my gut here. I'm gonna take Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners.
Julio Rodriguez as the first pick overall.
In the outfield.
Angels in the outfield. Okay, Julio Rodriguez, 3,500 bananas. I'm going to spend some money. Goldschmidt happens, $4,300. Catcher first base.
All right. And I'm going to go a little bit off of what we talked about earlier, and I'm going to take Eugenio Suarez at third base.
Even though it's a GPP, I still think we need one of these guys. I'm going Severino 10-2. So we're going to have to get skinny on some of these hitters.
Yeah.
I don't want to put Roansy in there as the solo guy,
Right.
If he's an SP2, you can stomach if he gets you 10 or something, but as your key guy, although it worked for me yesterday, I went Pilkington, only had 11, and all my hitters came through. So
yeah, it can happen.
But that's tough sledding. You got to hit them all to do that. Everybody contributed to hitting wise in that lineup.
Yeah. Let me see something real quick. Chad Cool. Yeah, it's Chad Cool pitching for the Rockies.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Where did I?
He is.
Oh, there we go. How much salary do we have left?
$2,700 a body.
Okay. I'm going to see if we can make this work. If not, I can adjust it. But I'm going to go with Jake Cronenworth, second base.
Okay. Jake Cronenworth, 3,400. Now we're down to 2,550. Okay, no worries. No worries, no panic. It hurts though when you have to pass all those good guys and scan down to the cheaper guys.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You see all those guys pass by and you think, "Oh no."
Yeah.
All right. He went like 8 for 11 in a couple of games. So I'm going with a guy. I still love him. I still think he can get it done. I'm going with Andrew McCutchen, $2,700.
Going with a Brewer.
Yep.
Okay.
You haven't taken one, so I know our quota is like 4 brewers a day. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna say
Kutch broke out of that slump, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Let me see here. Let's see something.
There's a lot of value today, like normal.
Yeah, I don't like those numbers. Trying to find some value from the Cardinals here, but
yeah. Oh, we were talking about trying to get at least little teeny mini stacks. We got 2. Let's see. Do
the
we have
Mariners?
We have 2 Mariners. That's a strange stack,
right? Well, that's part of being a GPP. Yeah, Gorman's too much. He's 3,600.
Yeah. He's awesome, though. I love that.
No, he is. Yeah, I'll just have to hope it hits. But I'm gonna go with Tyler O'Neill. He's still too cheap to me. He has so much power.
He does. He homered for me the other day.
Yeah, he's only 27, so that's too cheap to me.
No, that's a really underpriced number. I agree. Let's see. Why can't I find O'Neill? 2,700. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Let me go back here. All right. So now we got 2 spots left. And we've got to save a little dough, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was on shortstop. That's why I'm having difficulty here. We can always juggle these around if we have to. I'm going to go with Yepez, 2,800.
In the outfield?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. So I'm going to go with a min price
shortstop.
I'm going to go with a min price shortstop then. So let's see if I can.
I know we're down to the bare bones here. If we can make it work, if not, we can do a double switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's always possible. Because you're $2,000 shortstop. We're probably going to have to make a change.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Because we can't put anybody in there that's not going to roll.
I'm going to make a pretty big change here. I'm going to go with Dylan Moore at second base as part of that Seattle stack.
Okay.
Actually, you can do a shortstop or second base. So if we can find a second baseman that you like for 3,200 or less, that's where we're at.
Okay. 3,200 or less, second baseman for the
unless there's better value at shortstop.
I would love to take Whit Merrifield
at second base.
Second.
Okay.
He's
31
left.
Yeah, and then I can put more at shortstop. That'll work.
Yep, that would leave us 100 left, and our lineup would look like this: Severino, Goldschmidt, Merrifield, Suarez, Moore, Rodriguez, McCutchen, Yepez, and O'Neill. So we've got a couple 3-man St. Louis and 3-man Seattle.
Yeah.
With which is always a nice little strategy. 1 Milwaukee Brewer in there. and one Kansas City Royal. So with our Yankee pitcher.
Yep.
So there you go, man. That's what we got.
That's a GPP for sure.
No doubt. All right. Well, outstanding. I like it. Hopefully everybody wins on that one. Let us know when we take some stuff down here. Shoot us some information. You can also catch us on Twitter. That's a good spot to share some of your winning lineups. We're at DFS Coach Talk. Crash is at JP Davis 1982. And I am at Joe Sarvati. So there you go, my friends. A wonderful Friday, TGIF. And let's clean it up. Let's have fun with basketball tonight, golf today, baseball tonight. Man, this is like the best. What a great sports day for DFS.
It really is. Really is.
All right, Crash, appreciate you. Great job. We'll be back tomorrow as well with baseball, and we'll start preparing for Game 5 already after this one. Big game, though, tonight, man. Boston's either going to be in complete control 3-1 or 2-2 going back to Golden State. What an exciting game.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they can – this series is going to swing on who wins tonight for sure. So.
No doubt about it. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening in. We appreciate it. Thumbs up. Give us some comments. Have a great, great Friday. And we're starting off a fun weekend here at Coach Talk. So come in and join in the fun. Yeah. All right. For my man, Crash Davis, and for our entire Coach Talk team, we've got a new Coach Talk member we're going to announce this week that's going to join us for NFL. So big shout out to Steven. We'll announce him at the beginning of this, probably this weekend. We'll throw him in the mix here. So we're always growing here at Coach Talk, and we really appreciate all of you. I don't know if you checked out our Twitter feed, but we had the most busy May that we've ever had as far as views and time watched and everything else. So appreciate all of you tuning in each day and sharing your day with us. Means a lot to us. So all right. Thank you again. Have a great one. And we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and Prize Picks.